Good morning. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. It is Stampin' Thursday, and this week is Mystery Make It Together Thursday. So I love the mystery cards, and even though I've already made a couple of them, I love to do it again and see what I can come up with, and I love for you to do it, and I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. So gather these supplies up so that you'll be ready to go. Let me, I'm going to make sure. No, I don't want that. There, that's what I want. All right, so let me let this down just a little bit, and maybe it'll make it a little clearer. A little bigger. All right, maybe that will work. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so here are the supplies that you need. Let me make sure. There we go. All right, so you need basic white or very vanilla, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then you need a 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. And a 1 3/4 by 2 1/2, and a 2 3/8 by 5. Lots of very vanilla or basic white pieces. Then you need 3 different DSP patterns, three different ones, but they need to coordinate. So you need one which will be the background, the 4 by 5 1/4. And then you need another one that's going to be the card front. And that's 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. And then you need a third one that is just going to be 2 little strips, 3/4 by 2 1/2. And then you need a small little piece of coordinating cardstock, 1 1/4 by 3 inches, scored at 1 1/2. And you need one that is 4 by 2 1/2. And then you need a die cut shape, around 4 by 2 1/4, somewhere around there. And then images that can go on the front of that die cut shape. So those are the things you need to make this card together. And I am so excited to get to do this with you. If you are on here live, please let me know. Just say hi. Let me know that you're watching, and I'd love to know if you're making the card with me. I hope you are. I hope you are, because I think you'll really enjoy it. So let me know that you're watching, and let me know if you're making the card with me. So, all right, we are going to get started here, and I'm going to take out my basic white pieces. So we're going to start with a 4, make sure this is the right one. No, yeah, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece. Hi, Kay. I'm so glad you're here. You know what? Our kitchen water froze last night. We left it dripping. We had the cabinet doors open, but it froze anyway. So now we're just kind of waiting. Wait, you're making some of the card? Why aren't you making all of the card? If you need a minute to gather things, I'll get it for you. I'll wait for you, because you need to make the whole card. So go get your stuff. Go get your stuff, and I'll go slow so you'll be able to all right, so here is your 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece. And the first thing we're going to do is take the DSP number 1. And it is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to make sure. Okay, good. Okay. I'm going to go slow. And it's easy, I promise. All right, so you're going to take your 4 by 5 1/4 piece of designer series paper. And this is the one that I'm using. And we're gonna adhere that to the white. So let's do that real quick. Get my thing going here. I'm using actually just about everything, I think, from the birthday. I'll look and see what it's called. I never can remember. I don't know if that's wildflower or something. All right, you want to position it evenly onto your white. There we go. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to look and see what my designer series paper is called. It is called Wildflower Birthday. Well, I should have gotten the whole thing. And this is the designer series paper that has all the little cutout pieces too. So, there we go. We have our 4 by 5 1/4 designer series paper adhered to our 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of white or very vanilla cardstock. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is take our, and this is our 2 3/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock. We're going to set that aside. Now this is our 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. Make sure you can still see that. 2 3/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock. And to that, we're going to adhere designer series paper 2. And this is 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. So that's our designer series paper number 2. It's 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. And it will fit right on top of that. So I'm going to adhere that. I hate to cover up any side of this paper. It is so pretty. The colors are so pretty. But I'm going to get this on here as evenly as I can. There we go. So now we have these 2 pieces done. Oh, you know what I did? See, I do that every time. So we need to make a little, thankfully I did not close mine up right there. You need a little notch right there on the back and on the front. Oh, Deanna, I'm so sorry. Take your little piece of coordinating cardstock, 1 1/4 by 3. And put some adhesive on the back of that. I bet I'm going to have to poke it. No, there it is. There it's coming out. Put some adhesive on the back of it. Oh, so sorry. And stick it in right there, right in the middle. And it needs to go right up against the designer series paper. I'm so sorry. And many of these as I've made, I could not remember that. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to position this one right in the center. And that's how much, but it needs to go right under here. Oh, good. Fortunately, and you need to place just enough adhesive to slip into that paper. So you don't want too much adhesive. I'm going to have to use my pen and open up my... So I'm just going to put it right on the edge here. If I can get it to come out. Sometimes my little thing does not want to cooperate. All right, here we go. This time it should do it. There, it's coming. Not very fast. And I'm just putting it right on the edge. Just about, not even, maybe a ½ an inch in. And then I'm going to stick it in here. And this is just going to be right in the center. And lined up at the top and the bottom. And adhere it down. Oh my goodness gracious. So you would want to do that before either of these went in. You would want to do that. And because I didn't, that made it harder for you. But hopefully you got that. A little tool like this came from my Cricut. And I tell you what, I have used this thing so many times because it will lift up. So I hope you have something that will lift up your cardstock, your glued down thing. All right. So now this creates our Funfold. So this end goes in behind the Designer Series paper all the way to the edge. This one, just as far as it needs to go to leave this piece in the middle. I hope I didn't mess you up. Oh my goodness, I hope I didn't mess you up. I think I've done that before. So I'm waiting a minute while you get that done. Okay. All right, Kay. Did I mess you up? Did I mess you up? I hope not. I hope not. And for anyone else who's making along with this, especially if you're on YouTube, I hope I didn't mess you up. All right, we're going to go on then. So then you've got these two little pieces of Designer Series paper. Designer Series paper number 3. And one goes right up here. And one goes right down here. These are 3/4 by 2.5. 3/4 by 2.5. All right, let me glue those down. So I'm getting my adhesive on here. And this one is going to go right up here. Just right lined up with the edge of the Designer Series paper. And then this one's going to go right down here on the bottom, lined up with the edge of the Designer Series paper. And that's one reason I use my liquid glue, my Tombow, for projects like this, so that I can move them around a little bit. There we go. Give you a minute to get those on. Now we've got all 3 designer series papers on. Get that down. Get this down. All right, the next thing you're supposed to have is a die cut shape. A circle or a square or a frame. Whatever you wanted to use. And so I took a little bit of liberty here. I cut one out of the designer series paper. Only I think I wanted, nope, I cut it out of this one. And then I cut my shape to fit inside of it. But you'll see, I've done it in several different ways. This was just a good starting point. So what I'm going to do, before no, I'm not doing any stamping on it. So if you're going to do some stamping on this, you probably won't be because your sentiment is on a different piece. But if you were to, you'd want to do your stamping first. But I'm going to go ahead and glue my, and you want to be careful when you glue your shape onto the card front to just glue. You want it to be able to open. So you don't want glue here. I guess that's the only place. And then I'm going to glue and then I'm going to glue this down. And I'm just going to glue it. I'm going to take my glue right down the middle so I'm not in danger of overlapping. And I want my lines straight. Now, if yours should be a solid piece of cardstock. And that's why I had you do that, just to make it easier on this first card. Then when you do this again, and I guarantee you're going to want to do it again, you can take all kinds of liberties once you know what you're doing. All right. So there we have that. Now, I told you to gather some shapes, some images that you might want on the front. And I also told you that this wildflower birthday set comes with all of these pop-out images that are just fabulous. They're just fabulous. So it also has the designer series paper in it. It has 12 sheets in all. So 2 with the pop-out images, and then 5 more patterns, 2 each of 5 more patterns. So I chose to use the images from that. So I picked out a birthday cake, piece of birthday cake, and another little flower, and a piece of gold foil, stem. And I'm not sure where I'm going to put that. Maybe right there. Maybe this around here a little bit, and that right there. And I'm going to pop my cake up. So whatever images you picked for your card front, go ahead and put those on the card front, on your die cut shape. They can overlap as long as you don't put the glue on the back. You know, you don't want to glue your flap down, but you can certainly they can certainly overlap. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put this little jewel right there. And this one then, I'm going to put one dimensional right there. And of this piece, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there because that's where it overlaps. then I'm going to put it right there. And see, mine does hang over a little bit, which is no big deal. And then I've got this little jewel that I think I'm going to put right along the bottom there. So I don't want it popped up, so I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right along the bottom of it. Stick it under there and adhere it. Yeah. And then I could put another little dot of adhesive right there if I wanted that to stick down. Where's my... Oh, there it is. All right, and so for my sentiment strip, I also took a piece from that, and you know what I might do? Let me see. I think it's too wide. It is. I could put happy birthday here on the front. I could put it right in here. But I'd have to line it up. Or I could put happy birthday on the inside. I think because mine took up so much space on this one, I'm going to default to another happy birthday. Here, I've got a happy birthday right here from Loveliest Tree. Got lots of happy birthdays. For the inside, and I'm going to leave the outside. But if you've got your sentiment strip and it works for your card, you could put it anywhere. Your sentiment, because yours may not be birthday, yours may be something else. Put your sentiment somewhere on the front, or we could put it on the inside. So this last little piece of cardstock is a 2 3/4 by 5 inch piece. And it does fit right on the inside, right under your flap. But I'm going to stamp mine first. Since I'm putting my happy birthday on the inside, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. And I'll show you how to get that on here in a minute. You go ahead and put your sentiment on the front of your card, anywhere you want it. And I'm going to put my happy birthday right there, leaving room to sign the card. All right, so you should have the front of your card fixed with your images and then your sentiment on there somewhere. The other two samples I've got, the sentiment is on the front. I just didn't feel like this. I didn't want it covering up so much of this card. I could have done it right there. I could have put it right there, and it would have been just fine. It would have been fine. But I opted to put it on the inside. So what I'm going to do now is put a little bit of adhesive on the inside of my card, on the inside of my 2 3/8 by 5 inch piece of basic white or very vanilla. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to position it right behind this piece and sort of set it down. And then I'm going to come back and move it down into place. And then I'm going to, before I mash it down, I'm going to make sure it's hidden. And it is. Oh, I didn't mean to move it that much. I just wanted to move it like 1/8 of an inch. There it is. It's hidden. And then I'm going to put it down. Now, if you wanted to do something else to the inside of your on your inside piece, you could do that. You could stamp something, and that's it. How easy is that? If it hadn't been for my faux pas, you would not have had any trouble at all with yours. But anyway, that is it. That is our mystery Make It Together Funfold. Is that not the coolest card? I just loved it. I'm going to give you a minute to finish up. And then I'm going to show you a couple more samples. All right. Okay, I'm going to cover up my glue here. It has enough trouble getting started without me leaving it open. All right, let me show you a couple more samples. Different ways that you can do this card using these same measurements. And put these over here. I actually can put them up here. I'm not sure that you can see them up here. No, that's all right. All right, so we've got this one that we just did together. This was the first one I did. And this is using another one of those, one of our sets of Designer Series paper. This is the Storybook Moments set. And it also has 2 sheets of pop-out die-cut images. And then 5 different patterns of Designer Series paper. 2 each of those. And it again, this makes card making so easy, and I think so beautiful. So this is the card I made using that set. Now I did cut this out of the Stamp and Die set, out of the bundle from the Storybook Friends. So this set has these beautiful dies, and you have 3 different frames that you can choose from, as well as all the little animals. But so I chose one of the frames, and that was my piece. But you can see through it. So this one was not a solid piece. And then I used 3 of the little dies. And Easter greetings. So very simple. There's one of my DSPs, there's one, and there's one. And then my inside, Some Bunny Loves You. So on this one, I actually used, I believe it was Basic Beige. As long as it's light enough so that you can stamp on it, it really doesn't matter what you use. All right, there's that one. And then this is the one, the third one that I made. And this is using that paper that we all love so much. That this one is the Splendid Autumn paper. And this is from the Loveliest Tree. This die-cut tree and all the little leaves are from the Loveliest Tree. I don't know if you can see that. But it all went together so well. I just knew I had to find something to put on the front of this Designer Series paper. And I thought, that tree is just going to go so well So again, I didn't use a die cut piece, but it just shows you that there's so many different ways that you can do this Funfold. And then I just very lightly stamped the tree on the inside. I also made these the same thing and cut them so that it was a continuous pattern. And that was fun to do that. And then I didn't use the strip at the top and the bottom. So you can see there are lots of different ways to incorporate this Funfold pattern using just these supplies. So I'm going to get this to come right here. Hopefully you can see all of that. All right. Well, I hope you have enjoyed that, and I will be putting this on my blog later today with the dimensions and pictures of these 3 cards. So I would love to see yours, and the only way I can do that is if you go to my group page, Stampin' Dee Dee's Doings and Designs, and post a picture on there. I'll create an album, Mystery Make It Together, February 20th. And I would love it if you would post a picture there. I would love to see what you come up with, because there's just so many possibilities here. So much that you can do with this. All right. I think that's it. I'll be putting this on YouTube, and hopefully they'll catch my mistake before they mess up their card. Hopefully. But you know, even on this one, if you had had to glue it over the top, it would have been fine, because it doesn't show. It doesn't show. So, lots of ways that we can cover up our mistakes, right? All right, thank you for being here. There will not be a Stampin' Thursday the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be out of town for 9 days, and so I will not be able to do a Stampin' Thursday next Thursday or the week after that, because I'll be coming back that Thursday. So I look forward to, what is it, March? Let me get my calendar up here. To March the 13th. I'll be coming back the 6th. So March 13th will be the next Stampin' Thursday, and I won't be able to do a Dying to Know either. So I guess that will have to wait until April for the Dying to Know. But I will see you March 13th with a new Stampin' Thursday. All right. God bless. Stay warm. Thank you for watching.